And now, the Audible Original 64th Man and Career Builder present WWE Survivor Series.
Survivor Series 2019. So this was live from the Allstate Arena in Chicago. And for the first time ever, we had all three brands, Raw, Smackdown, and NXT, fighting for brand supremacy. So the pre-show, we had three kind of uneventful matches, but the good thing about this pre-show is they did count this year. So we had Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode winning the Tag Team Battle Royal by last eliminating the Street Profits. Then we had Lio Rush defending his Cruiserweight title against Tozawa and Kalisto, and that did count as a win for NXT. And then we had the Viking Raiders defeat the New Day and the Undisputed Era for the one Raw win that we got tonight. The Raw's by far the worst brand, so it kind of works out. But, the opening match, we had Team NXT, which was Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, and Toni Storm, versus Charlotte, Natalya, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Sarah Logan. And then Team SmackDown was Sasha Banks, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Nikki Cross. So, this is a 5-on-5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. And I was kind of worried about this because I don't like triple threat tag team matches. I never liked that you have two people in there and then they can just tag whoever they want. Luckily, they had three people in the ring at the same time, and they were only allowed to tag their own partners. So that was awesome. I'm really glad that they improved upon the triple threat tag team match rules. And, early on, Candice LeRae and Io Shirai were taken out for injury. So we only had three people down to the NXT team. And, I thought this was a strong opening match. The final two, we had Rhea Ripley and Sasha Banks, and then Rhea Ripley actually got the pin here with the help of the returning Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. So, yeah, they came out and helped her out. So, next up, we had the triple threat match. We had Roderick Strong, who is your North American champion. We had AJ Styles, who is the U.S. champion, and then Shinsuke Nakamura, who is the Intercontinental champion with the new belt. And then he had Sami Zayn with him. And this match went 16 minutes and 45 seconds. It honestly felt longer. It started off kind of slow-paced and picked up. I never quite thought this match went into a full third gear. And another thing is, this was a good match. And I just felt throughout the night the crowd was very quiet. I don't really know what happened. Chicago's usually not bad. We did have the occasional CM Punk chants here and there. But overall, a good match. My biggest problem, though, I feel like the whole Sami Zayn thing could have been left out on this one. I'd rather just watch three really good athletes go at it in the ring without Sami Zayn and, the overbooking and all that. And, he was getting heat, so I will give Sami Zayn credit there. He is a good heel. But I was actually surprised that Roderick Strong picked up the win here. AJ Styles basically went and did the forearm on Nakamura. Roderick Strong pushed AJ Styles out and got the pin. So he pinned Nakamura. And a very, very good triple threat match. It wasn't quite as good as I guess everyone thought it would be, but it's not disappointing. I thought it was really good. And then we had for the singles match for the NXT Championship, we had Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne. This went 14 minutes and 10 seconds. This match was kind of, it was very NXT, which I was worried about. I was worried that Vince would pop in and, tell him to wrestle at a slower, more build-up pace. Let NXT do their thing. Not everyone's an NXT fan, I understand that. I only watch the NXT pay-per-views once in a while. I don't watch the weekly show or anything. And I don't watch Raw or SmackDown either weekly anymore. So, I've always praised NXT, but I do have, of course, the concerns that, sometimes you have lack of selling, which I was glad. Adam Cole came out. He was all taped up. He was selling his injuries from last night, so credit there. There's to the people that say Adam Cole doesn't know how to sell. But Pete Dunne was always one of my favorite NXT wrestlers, and this match was phenomenal. You had so many great spots, and I felt like the crowd really didn't appreciate it till the end. You could tell this is more of a main roster crowd than it is an NXT crowd, and that's kind of what's expected. And, it just felt like they never quite got into it until the end, which is fine. But the crowd was kind of a letdown on this show, like I said. We had Adam Cole picking up the win here, which I thought he would. But this is a great match between these two. And probably match of the night, to be honest. And I honestly, this was one of those matches I could have had go on another 10 minutes. It would have been great. And then we had The Fiend, Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan in a singles match for the Universal Championship. The Blue Universal Championship. So the red lighting was back. We actually had normal lighting chants going on, which was kind of funny. But, here's the thing. I was actually really surprised during this match because Daniel Bryan was insanely over with the crowd. They were rooting for him. They were cheering for him. We had the whole Yes Movement gimmick going strong here. And I'm a huge Daniel Bryan fan, so this was cool to see again. But I think we all knew Bray Wyatt was winning here. My prediction is he goes to WrestleMania as champion, Roman wins the Rumble, and then Roman beats Bray Wyatt. That's my prediction. So this match was okay. It only went 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Daniel Bryan got a lot of offense in. There wasn't that whole, no-selling, overdoing the no-selling with Bray Wyatt. We didn't get 12, running knees, or we didn't have a 10-minute yes lock. This one was better paced, and I like this match. So then we had another 5-on-5-on-5 men's triple threat match. We had Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, King Corbin, Mustafa Ali, and Chad Gable. I refuse to call him Shorty G. And then we had Team Raw, which was Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Ricochet. And then Team NXT was Ciampa, Damian Priest, Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, and Walter. Okay. Walter being the first person eliminated. That's what bothered me the most about this match. I'm a huge Walter fan because he's very old school. I love old school wrestling, so this was something I always clung to. His match with Pete Dunne for the UK title where he won, that match was brilliant. So to see him eliminated first was just kind of a punch in the gut. The crowd was not a fan of that. They were chanting bullshit and all that. So your final two, we had Keith Lee and Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins was eliminated. I thought he was going to be at least in the final two. But, for the most part, this was kind of a standard Survivor Series elimination match. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton went at it. That was pretty cool. He actually eliminated Randy Orton, and then we got an RKO to Matt Riddle, and then he was pinned. We had a lot of heat with King Corbin. He was responsible for Ali getting eliminated. So, just kind of your basic booked traditional Survivor Series match, which isn't a bad thing. I just kind of expected maybe a little more. But we had Keith Lee and Roman Reigns have a really cool ending. Near fall after near fall, and then Roman ended up winning, which I actually predicted. I'm telling you, they're buttering up Roman. He's winning the Rumble. So overall, a standard men's traditional Survivor Series elimination match. Next up, we had Brock Lesnar versus Rey Mysterio in a no-holds-barred match for the WWE Championship. This went 7 minutes, which is about what I predicted. I figured Bray would get beat up for a while, somehow get the edge due to interference, have a few near falls, and then Brock would win. which is basically exactly what happened. We had Dominic come out. They actually did, this was really cool. If you're a wrestling fan as long as I have been, I know I have some younger viewers, but when you remember Dominic being a kid in 2005, the whole Eddie Guerrero storyline, this was cool to see Dominic doing a 619 with Rey Mysterio. That was just cool. They both, he actually did a really good frog splash, Dominic, so that was really cool. I guess it was a splash. And, yeah, Brock picked up the win here, which did anyone actually think he wouldn't? So, decent, just kind of your basic booking match. It was never really that competitive or anything, but that's fine. And then we had your main event. Shayna Baszler, who's your NXT Women's Champion, versus Becky Lynch and Bayley. And up to this point, NXT was ahead 1 point. So what I figured would happen is Smackdown, because it was 1-3-2, I believe. Or something like that. I think it was. But Raw wasn't winning anything. So we already knew that. So I figured maybe Bayley would pick up the win here and then there would be a tie. But no, Shayna Baszler won this match. And this was very uneventful. This was a letdown of a match. This should not have been the main event. Honestly, the main event just should have been the Survivor Series men's match. This was just disappointing. This, the time's not on here yet. Here it is. 18 minutes and 10 seconds, which is fine, you know, but I just didn't feel much chemistry with these three. Shayna Baszler basically had Bayley tap out. Becky Lynch was on the outside. She was taken out on the table. And Baszler, as she was celebrating, Becky Lynch, of course, you know, beat her up. And she kind of got the last laugh. And a lot of people were expecting a Ronda Rousey return here, which is bound to happen eventually. Maybe the Rumble. Maybe she'll win the Rumble. Probably. But yeah, just kind of your basic triple threat match. It really just never set pace and was just kind of felt there. But that means NXT won. So I think this proves something. That Vince McMahon fears AEW. That's what this proves. He wanted to put NXT over so he can get the ratings up for NXT every week. That just shows. You know, personally, I thought NXT would look strong tonight, but I didn't think they were going to win. I thought it was going to go to Smackdown, because that's Fox. I figured Fox would want the win here. But no. NXT, it was kind of a slaughter. It was 1-4-2, I think. So, they won by 2 points. So, for fans of NXT, that's a good thing for you. And fans of Raw, which there aren't many anymore, you know, you only got 1 point on the pre-show. So, overall letter grade for this show, I'm going to give this a B. I thought this was a pretty good pay-per-view. Survivor Series is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. It's the one I always look forward to the most. I don't think it was quite as good as the last 3 years, but it's still one of the better pay-per-views of the year, which, yeah, isn't saying much. It's not hard to be that good of a pay-per-view, but, you know, let me know your thoughts down below. For now, I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been the DVD Freak. Peace out.